to a mother like me, can you please remind me?
Well, yeah, we got you. We'll definitely remind you of that. So we intend on this episode to answer the question, what's $50,000 to a black male who never graduated high school? Essentially, someone like Jay-Z. Like every other episode, I intend to bridge the gap between hip-hop and reality. Because at the end of the day,
It's only entertainment.
and to do that, we get a little help from two really good resources. The first is BLS.gov, or the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And the next is census.gov, all the population statistics that you could ever want. I went to the source of the information, so you know it's
Facts only.
So starting out, we take a look, and we realize that black males comprise 6% of the U.S. population. And of that 6%, we break out here the education attainment level for black males over the age of 25. And you can see the largest piece of this pie is a regular high school diploma, sitting at 29%.
Noticing how education was, not being addressed in our neighborhood.
But not far behind it is some college, about 24%, although that part of the population did not actually end up finishing college. So you can take a look at this graph and kind of see how those things break out. The most important thing to start thinking about is that, okay, I went to college, I got some education, just like my mom told me, then what? So this is black male weekly earnings by education level. And as you can see, and as you could probably predict, the higher you climb in your education level, the higher your salary climbs. And this is actually, you can just multiply that number by 52 to figure out how much you make on an annual basis. So everything is all set, but you start to think and you start to understand that, hey, eventually you're going to be
Head of the family.
and you got to plan for those things. One day you're walking along and you meet
Boy meets girl, girl perfect woman.
But until that day comes, you're working to be the best version of yourself. The truth of it is that I was just showing you statistics of only black males. When you get into the labor force, it's a lot steeper of a hill to climb. As you can see, once you get into the labor force, you're competing against all ethnicities. And some days you're going to feel like,
Do my back to the wall, ashy knuckles.
but as long as you remain,
I'm so ambitious.
and you'll make it. So I'm giving you the median weekly earnings for a black male, and it's $696. So we arrive here, and right under that total tax in the bottom right hand corner, you see $36,192. And I just essentially took that median weekly earnings and multiplied it by 52, which is the amount of weeks in a year. And you can see that you're paying $4,506 worth of federal tax for that money. And I break out the tax brackets for you. So for the first bracket is 10% and the second bracket is 15%. You pay 10% on money up until you get to $18,451. Any money over that, you pay 15% on until you make it into the next bracket. So we keep going, and you realize that you got to take even more money out. So now we look at it and say that 36,192 starts to get chipped away at. So first we take that federal tax out, then we take that Social Security out, Medicare, and then state income tax. And just a quick note, I actually use the Illinois state income tax rate, which is 3.75. And you see your take-home pay is actually $27,832. And I did the same thing for $50,000. So as you break that all the way down, you take all the taxes out, that's $38,112. So you start to think about that in real money, and you say, okay, well, if you're paying $1,000 for rent, it's $12,000 out of that $38,000. Start factoring in things like 401k, any other utilities, Netflix, things like that, and you start to understand that that $50,000 doesn't get you as far as you really expect.
And there was no mentoring program. There was no going back and grabbing a person and teaching them, trade or what it is that you do, and then that person go back and grab two people, and then and it goes from there. So
Nobody will fall 'cause everyone will be